Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We from group 17 will present about in the swing very starting point. We have 5 group members. The first one is Ahmad Naim Danis bin Muhammad Naim, Muhammad Sufi Syikri bin Muhammad Rashad, Nur Harid Izzat bin Nur Azizi, Azin Harid bin Yasmi, Muhammad Nur Azamuddin bin Nur Azam. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Sufi Syikri bin Muhammad Rashad, number matrix AA2293. Now I will talk about introduction. The pendulum is a simple harmonic oscillator, which means that it oscillates back and forth with a constant period. The period of a pendulum is dependent on the length of the pendulum and the gravitational acceleration. In short, pendulum concept is applied in various real-life situations. The concept of a pendulum can be applied to the simple act of swinging on a swing at a park. A swing is a type of pendulum that oscillates back and forth. The period of oscillation, or the time it takes for the swing to complete one full back and forth motion, is determined by the length of the swing and the gravitational acceleration. When a person pushes themselves on the swing, they are giving the swing an initial push or impulse. This impulse causes the swing to start moving, and the person on the swing will begin to oscillate back and forth. The amplitude of the oscillation, or the distance between the highest and lowest point of the swing, will depend on how high the person pushes themselves. As the person on the swing continue to oscillate, they will notice that the amplitude of the oscillation will decrease as the swing slow down. This is due to effect of the friction and air resistance, which act to dissipate the energy of the swing. Eventually, the swing will come to a stop. By understanding the concept of a pendulum, a person can use their body weight and timing to control the motion of the swing and prolong the oscillation. They can also understand why the swing slows down and eventually stop. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. I am Azamuddin and I will explain the method that we use in this project. Firstly, timing method. This method involves measuring the time it takes for a pendulum to oscillate back and forth a certain number of times. This can be used to determine the period of oscillation, which is a measure of the pendulum's stability. Second, photographic method. This method involves taking a series of photographs of the pendulum in motion and analyzing the images to determine the displacement, velocity, and acceleration of the pendulum. Third, simulation method. This method involves using computer simulations to model the motion of a pendulum. This can be useful for studying the effects of different variables such as the length of the pendulum or the amplitude of oscillation on the pendulum's motion. And the fourth, variation method. This method involves changing one variable at a time and observing how it affects the period of oscillation. This can be used to determine the relationship between the variable being changed and the period of oscillation, and can be useful for studying the effect of different parameters such as length, mass, also amplitude.
The difference between the solution of the answer between calculation and simulation is not much different, but when compared to the theory, many differences are detected due of several factors. Among those factors is wind resistance. Strong wind resistance can affect the result of experiment. To calculate starting angle in radian, we must divide displacement from equilibrium divide to length of swing. Next, return force is weight of swinger multiply with starting angle. Then torque on swinger, lever arm multiply to return of force. And this is our free body diagram.
Hello, my name is Hazrin Harid. The first weight of swinger is 2 Newton. The lever arm is 0.5 meter. Displacement from equilibrium is 0.07. Starting angle is 0.175 radian. Return force is 0.35 Newton. Torque and swinger is 0.14 Newton meter. Period for 5 swings is 6.35 seconds, and the period is 1.27. For the second weight of swinger is 2 Newton, and also the lever arm 0.4 meter. Displacement from equilibrium is 0.14 meter. Starting angle is 0.349 radian. Return force is 0.7 Newton. Torque on swinger is 0.28 Newton meter. Period for 5 swings is 6.5 seconds, and the period is 1.29 seconds. The weight of swinger, the third weight of swinger is 2 Newton. Lever arm is 0.4 meter. Displacement from equilibrium is 0.21 meter. Starting angle is 0.524 radian. Return force is 1.05 Newton. Torque on swinger is 0.42 Newton meter. Period for 5 swing is 6.3 seconds, and the period is 1.26 seconds. Thank you.
This is Ramayana Bernardo. Mathematics number is AA221525. So I will present the conclusion type. The conclusion for this induction topic is the period of the pendulum does not differ on the left pendulum only. So because on the left extreme, for example, the two pendulums with different lengths but with the same spin length will have the same period. Otherwise, two pendulums with different spin length but with the same length will have different periods. It is the pendulum that has the longer spin will have the longest period. With the assumption of a small starting point, the frequency and period of the pendulum are independent of the starting point displacement amplitude. The pendulum will have the same period regardless of its starting point. For example, three pendulums will swing with a different starting point for each pendulum. The two pendulums will cycle to one complete oscillation in the same amount of time, regardless of the starting point. Next, the length of the pendulum doesn't necessarily period because the force that acts on the pendulum is gravity. No matter how much the mass of a falling object, the effect of gravity acting on the object is the same. So we can conclude that the factor that most affects the swing of the pendulum is the length of the swing. Thank you.